in $1 billion, 9 men on the pitch, 0 goals. And a referee who just destroyed the most expensive squad in football history. Last night at the Santiago Bernabéu, something broke. Not just the result, not just the tactics, but the entire identity of Real Madrid. What I'm about to show you isn't just a loss, it's a meltdown. It's proof that money can't buy discipline, that superstars can lose control, and that maybe, there's a conspiracy at play that nobody wants to talk about. Before I reveal the exact moment the wheels came off, the 2 red cards that exposed this team's fatal flaw, and the referee decision that has the entire football world in chaos, you must subscribe to Cyberboot. Because in the next 11 minutes, you're going to witness the most expensive implosion in football history. This is how a $1 billion dream becomes a 9-man nightmare. Welcome back to Cyberboot, where we don't just report football results. We expose the truth behind the chaos, the tactics behind the failures, and the conspiracies that mainstream media is too afraid to touch. Last night, Real Madrid, the most successful club in European football history, the team that spent $1 billion assembling a squad of superstars, lost 2-0 at home to Celta Vigo. Celta Vigo, a mid-table side, a team fighting to stay out of relegation. A club whose entire squad is worth less than what Real Madrid paid for Kylian Mbappé alone. But the scoreline doesn't tell the full story. Because by the time the final whistle blew, Real Madrid had finished with 9 men, 2 red cards, accumulated 5 yellow cards, failed to score despite having world-class attackers fallen 4 points behind Barcelona in the title race. This wasn't just a bad night. This was a system failure, a psychological collapse, and possibly evidence that La Liga's referees have an agenda against the most dominant club in Spanish football. Let me take you inside the chaos. Let me show you the exact moments where discipline, composure, and $1 billion in talent all vanished. And let me ask the question that's dividing the football world right now. Was this Real Madrid's fault? Or were they destroyed by forces beyond their control? To understand the magnitude of last night's failure, you first need to understand the value of this Real Madrid squad. According to Transfermarkt, Real Madrid's current squad is valued at approximately $1.06 billion. That's 1 billion euros, more than any other club in world football. Their starting lineup against Celta Vigo included Kylian Mbappé, $180 million value. The most expensive free transfer in history when wages and signing bonuses are included. Jude Bellingham, $180 million value. England's golden boy, last season's La Liga sensation Vinicius Jr., $150 million value. Ballon d'Or contender, one of the world's most devastating wingers. Federico Valverde, $120 million value. Box-to-box powerhouse Eder Militão, $60 million value. Brazil's defensive anchor Álvaro Carreras, starting left-back in the lineup, and that's just 6 players. Add in Antonio Rudiger, Aurélien Tchouaméni, Eduardo Camavinga, and the rest, and you have a squad that cost more to assemble than some nations' GDP. With that level of investment, the expectation is dominance, not just wins, but control. Clinical finishing, tactical discipline, championship mentality. So when Celta Vigo, a team whose squad is valued at approximately $150 million total, comes to the Bernabéu, the match should be a formality. Real Madrid dominated possession. They had 22 shots compared to Celta's 8. They created chances, but they couldn't score. And then, in the second half, everything collapsed. Before we continue, I want your take. When a $1 billion squad loses to a mid-table team, is it the players' fault, the manager's tactics, or something else? Drop your answer in the comments, players, manager, or other. Let's debate this. The match started as expected. Real Madrid pressing high, controlling possession, creating chances. Mbappé had 2 shots saved. Bellingham hit the post. Vinicius was denied by a world-class save from Celta's goalkeeper. But football, especially at the elite level, punishes teams that don't convert dominance into goals. At halftime, with the score still 0-0, the pressure is building. Real Madrid are dominating but haven't found the breakthrough. Celta Vigo manager Claudio Giraldez makes a crucial change. He brings on Swedish forward Williot Swedberg as a halftime substitute. Nobody at the Bernabéu could have predicted what would happen next. 9 minutes into the second half, Celta Vigo finally break the deadlock. Celta win a corner. Real Madrid's defense, supposedly world-class, fails to clear. The ball falls to halftime substitute Williot Swedberg. He shoots. The ball deflects off a Madrid defender and loops into the net. 1-0 Celta Vigo. The Bernabéu falls into shocked silence. This isn't supposed to happen. Real Madrid are now desperately pushing for an equalizer. They're throwing men forward. The defensive line is high. And that's when Fran García loses his composure. 64th minute, Garcia makes a reckless sliding tackle near the halfway line. It's late. It's dangerous. The referee, who's already shown Garcia a yellow card in the first half, doesn't hesitate. Second yellow card, red card. Garcia is sent off. Real Madrid are now down to 10 men with over 25 minutes still to play, trailing by a goal and facing a Celta side that's growing in confidence. The Bernabéu erupts in chaos. Fans are screaming. Players are protesting. Manager Xabi Alonso is gesturing frantically from the touchline. Now playing with 10 men and trailing by a goal, Real Madrid's tactical structure crumbles. They're throwing everyone forward. The defensive line is dangerously high. Gaps are appearing everywhere. For the next 25-plus minutes of game time, they push desperately for an equalizer. Mbappé has chances. Bellingham shoots from distance. Vinicius dribbles past 3 defenders but can't find the finish. And then, in the depths of stoppage time, Celta Vigo strike again. 90+2 minutes. Real Madrid are exhausted. They've been playing with 10 men for over 25 minutes. Their legs are gone. Their discipline is gone. Their hope is fading. Celta Vigo launch a counter-attack. Real Madrid's defense, stretched thin and desperate, can't recover. The ball finds its way to Williot Swedberg, the halftime substitute who's already haunting the Bernabéu. Swedberg is one-on-one with the goalkeeper. He stays calm. He slots it past Courtois. 2-0 Celta Vigo. The Swedish substitute has scored both goals. He's been on the pitch for 45 minutes and he's single-handedly destroyed a billion-dollar squad. The Bernabéu erupts in boos. The fans are furious. The players are devastated, but the nightmare still isn't over. Just 2 minutes after conceding the second goal, Álvaro Carreras, who started the match and has been battling for 90-plus minutes, commits a foul near the corner flag. The referee blows his whistle. Carreras, already frustrated by the defeat and exhausted from playing with 10 men, confronts the referee. Words are exchanged. Carreras gestures aggressively, and the referee, without hesitation, reaches for the red card. Straight red for dissent. Real Madrid are now down to 9 men. The camera cuts to the bench. Manager Xabi Alonso has his head in his hands. The players on the pitch look defeated. The Bernabéu crowd is a mixture of fury, disbelief, and resignation. When the referee blows for full time, the scoreline reads: Real Madrid 0, 2 Celta Vigo. 2 red cards, 0 goals. Both Celta goals scored by a halftime substitute, and a billion-dollar squad humiliated on their own pitch. Celta Vigo manager Claudio Giraldez celebrates on the touchline. His tactical substitution at halftime has produced a masterclass in efficiency. But here's where this story takes a twist, because the question isn't just, how did Real Madrid lose? The question is, why did they lose control? And that's where the conspiracy begins. Here's my second question for you. Do you think La Liga referees have a bias against Real Madrid? Or did the players deserve every card they received? Comment below, bias or deserved. I want to see where this community stands. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, the referee. In last night's match, the referee issued 5 yellow cards to Real Madrid, 1 yellow card to Celta Vigo, 2 red cards to Real Madrid, 0 red cards to Celta Vigo. Real Madrid committed 6 fouls. Celta Vigo committed 13 fouls. Yet the punishment was drastically different. This isn't an isolated incident. Over the past 3 seasons, Real Madrid have received more red cards than Barca. They've also accumulated more yellow cards per match than Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, or any other top 6 club. Is this because Real Madrid players are more undisciplined, or is there something else at play? Real Madrid fans, and some pundits, believe that La Liga referees are targeting the club. The theory goes, Real Madrid's dominance in Spain and Europe has created resentment among referees who support smaller clubs or rival teams. High-profile players like Vinicius Jr. are over-policed. Every challenge, every reaction, every word to the referee is scrutinized. Referees are under pressure from Spanish football authorities to balance the league by preventing Real Madrid from running away with the title. Last night's referee, Juan Martínez Munuera, has officiated 12 Real Madrid matches in his career. In those 12 matches, Real Madrid have received 27 yellow cards and 4 red cards. That's an average of 2.25 yellow cards and 0.33 red cards per match. By comparison, when Munuera officiates Barcelona matches, the average is 1.6 yellow cards and 0.1 red cards per match. Coincidence or bias? Now, I'm not saying there's a provable conspiracy. I'm not saying La Liga is rigged. What I am saying is that the numbers raise questions. And when those questions aren't answered, conspiracy theories thrive. But let's step back from the conspiracy theories and focus on what this defeat means for Real Madrid's season. Before last night's match, Real Madrid were 1 point behind Barcelona at the top of La Liga. A win would have put them level. A draw would have maintained pressure. Instead, they lost. And Barcelona, who won their match, now sit 4 points clear at the top of the table. 4 points with 12 matches remaining is not insurmountable. But it's a massive psychological blow, because this defeat wasn't just about the result. It was about the manner of the defeat. Real Madrid didn't lose because they were outplayed tactically. They lost because they lost discipline. They lost because they couldn't convert chances. They lost because when the pressure mounted, they crumbled. And they were destroyed by a halftime substitute who scored both goals in his 45 minutes on the pitch. Celta manager Claudio Giraldez's tactical change proved to be genius, while Real Madrid's billion-dollar squad fell apart. Manager Xabi Alonso is now under immense pressure. He's in his first season at Real Madrid after a successful stint at Bayer Leverkusen. He was brought in to deliver titles, to manage superstars, to continue the club's dominance. But after last night's meltdown, the Spanish media are already asking, is Alonso the right man for this job? Final question. If you were Real Madrid's president, would you keep faith in Xabi Alonso, or would you start looking for a replacement? Comment below. Keep Alonso or replace him. Let's see what the cyberboot community thinks. So there you have it. Real Madrid's billion-dollar squad reduced to 9 men, humiliated at home by a mid-table side, and now 4 points behind Barcelona in the title race. Both goals conceded to a halftime substitute named Williot Swedberg, who will be remembered at the Bernabéu for all the wrong reasons. Before you go, I need 3 things from you. Subscribe to Cyberboot right now. We're the only channel that goes this deep, exposes these patterns, and isn't afraid to ask the uncomfortable questions. If you want football analysis that makes you think, this is your home. Hit that like button if you believe something fishy is going on with La Liga referees and Real Madrid. Your engagement tells YouTube that people want real investigations, not just match highlights. Get in the comments and answer those 3 questions. Who's to blame for the loss? Players, manager, or other? Do La Liga refs have a bias against Madrid, or did they deserve the cards? Should Real Madrid keep or replace Xabi Alonso? I'm reading every comment. This is your community. Let's debate, discuss, and uncover the truth together. $1 billion. The most expensive squad in football, and they couldn't even finish a match with 11 men. This isn't just a bad result. This is a system in crisis. This is a club under siege, from opponents, from referees, and possibly from forces within their own dressing room. Real Madrid have conquered Europe more than any other club. But last night, they were conquered by indiscipline, by pressure, by a Swedish halftime substitute, and by 9-man chaos. The question is, can they recover? Or is this the beginning of the end for the billion-dollar dream? This has been Cyberboot. Stay tactical, stay informed, and never stop questioning.